It may not be Broadway, but here in San Francisco, the theater district is the closest we have. But one guy who is debuting off-Broadway is Wajahat Ali. His play, Domestic Crusaders, becomes the first Muslim American play to debut off-Broadway, and that will happen on September 11th. Wajahat, thank you for being here.
Thank you for interviewing me.
All right, so back up, let's start. Tell us about Domestic Crusaders, what the play is about, and what the storyline is.
Domestic Crusaders is a universal family drama told through a very specific lens of a group of people whom we've talked about but we haven't heard, Muslim Americans.
Who gave you the brilliant idea to keep a beard, oi ullu, and you wore the topi? Why don't you hold a sign saying, I'm an extremist? One way ticket to Abu Ghraib, please.
It takes place in a house, 3 generations, 6 characters, all members of the same family, post 9/11. And all the 6 characters reconvene at the family home for the youngest son's 21st birthday, and the sparks fly.
At least I'll be responsible for my own downfall.
Salman, kya pagal ho gaye ho? Acting like some madman. Go to your room now.
The story, the way I understand, is you were taking a creative writing class at Berkeley.
Right.
Your professor saw some potential with the storyline,
Right.
and 2 years later it became a play.
Right. I took a short story writing class with Ishmael Reed, and he takes me aside and he says, listen, I'm tired of seeing Muslim Americans portrayed as cartoons. Write me 20 pages and you pass the class. And at 24, we premiered it right here in the Bay Area at the Berkeley Repertory Theater, and it's taken us 4 years now to get to New York, which is a big deal.
Wajahat, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, after 9/11, there's been a lot of talk of, all right, where's the Muslim voice? And on the flip side, Muslim Americans have been saying, why is everybody speaking for us? Why aren't we allowed to tell our story? So is part of what Domestic Crusaders is to address that issue and to be the Muslim voice?
Well, it's to be a voice through art, and art is a really powerful vehicle. Sometimes fiction is the best way for people to understand and to learn, right? And so that's one of the goals of the play, is to get a Muslim American voice out there, which I hope is authentic and true and honest, which is not representative of the 1.5 billion Muslim voices, but is one of the voices which hopefully synthesizes the triumphs and tragedies of our experience, and is by us but for everyone.
Just because everyone else is going nuts doesn't mean I have to or will.
You don't understand anything.
Yeah, and you do?
All right, so is there any point in the play that there's a message or something that has to do with Muslims in the United States that you as a Muslim American wrote about that somebody else wouldn't have been able to capture?
Oh, well, that's a big question. I don't think I'm that innovative, but I believe the uniqueness of the play is the fact that we're so honest, because people speak the way they do in real life. Blunt, politically incorrect, talking about race, politics, religion, like the type of stuff we talk about behind closed doors in the home that we don't say amongst, good company.
I really don't care what Muslim men like. All these Bob guys want is a good Muslim girl with light skin tone, an MD degree, long hair, stunning Jennifer Lopez good looks with her other assets.
What do you think is one of the maybe more controversial aspects of your play that's really going to grab attention?
Probably seeing a bunch of brown people on stage who aren't doing bhangra or singing, and they're actually being articulate. Another aspect is there's Muslims, and no one's a terrorist. And I'm not trying to be smug here, but honestly, here's a good example. One person was a savvy theater goer, very nice person, saw the play and said, I'm shocked that the muhajjaba, the hijabi woman who wears a scarf, did not end up being a terrorist at the end of the play. And the only reason she thought that was because the woman had a scarf, right? So the fact that these people are human beings speaking like that, I think automatically that visual cue defangs all these stereotypes, and that is both very inspiring but also dangerous.
And part of the goal of your play.
And part of the goal of the play.
What's it like to be the first?
A lot of pressure. Don't know if I deserve it. No matter what I do, I'm going to get hated. But you know what? Inshallah, that's what we say is you step out, you say Bismillah, you hope for the best, and if you fall, you hope people learn from that and do even better.
That's what being one of the first ones is all about. All right, Wajahat Ali, good luck.
Thank you.
And good job.
I appreciate it.